cop's name was Robert Wilson. He happened to be African American.
Jim Rosenfield.
And I'm Jacqueline London. This is Officer Robert Wilson III, who is an 8-year veteran of the force. Months ago, he spoke to NBC 10 about the department's new body cameras and how he hoped they would bring officers closer to neighborhoods they serve.
This afternoon, his life came to an end in that same community at a GameStop store near 21st and Lehigh in North Philadelphia. Tonight, the shootout, how police caught both suspects and the family the officer left behind.
We begin with NBC 10's George Spencer, who is live at the scene. George.
Jacqueline, the snow was still falling here around 4:45 this afternoon, so this typically bustling plaza was a bit quieter than usual. But when those first shots rang out, the shoppers who were here dashed into the grocery store nearby just for safety. The death of one of Philadelphia's finest unfolding only steps away.
I heard gunshots.
Sharon Cofield first heard what she could later not forget seeing. From this Rainbow clothing store, just before closing time, she witnessed the gunfight between Officer Robert Wilson III, his partner, and 2 alleged store robbers.
My assistant manager ran to the door and was going to pour down the bleachers, and that's when she seen the cop out there shooting.
Tonight, Police Commissioner Charles Ramsey tells us Wilson was on duty and in full uniform when he stopped into this GameStop store in the shopping plaza at 22nd and Lehigh. After he was already inside, officials say 2 armed men burst in and announced a robbery. It's not clear if they knew Wilson was an officer when he engaged them and gunfire erupted.
Whoever was in the rain in GameStop, they both was shooting out, and he was like shooting in, and then he was running across the lot.
Officials say Wilson fell to the ground, being shot at from both sides, but he continued to fire until he was struck by the fatal bullet. His partner, seen here, rushed in and exchanged fire with the men as well. During the shootout, one of the suspects was struck by a bullet, but it's not clear which officer hit him. For neighbor Jay Rodriguez, it all defies explanation.
It's tragic. I can't believe that the world's come to this.
It's just scary because it's right next to my job.
These live pictures showing the investigative scene still held here. Police tell us the injured suspect was taken to Einstein Hospital, but the other suspect actually tried to blend in with the crowd that gathered after this shooting. Responding police officers were able to quickly pick him out and take him into custody. We're told that 2 guns were recovered at this scene. We're live tonight in North Philadelphia. I'm George Spencer, NBC 10 News.
There was a cop killed in Philly this past weekend, and basically he was on patrol, on duty, and what he did is he stopped at this GameStop to pick up a video game for his son. The officer was in full uniform, and as he was in there, he was approached by 2 suspects as they walked inside the GameStop. And what they did was they just pulled out firearms and said that this is going to be a robbery. So what happened was the cop tried to shield one of the customers, and they started shooting, and then the cop returned fire back, and then what happened was is that he was struck by gunfire in the head. And as the suspects were leaving out the store, the officer's partner was outside, and he struck one of the suspects in the leg. Then he took him into custody, and the other suspect went back into the store and tried to blend in with the other customers and hide at that time. And then the officers were able to point him out and take him in for custody as well. you guys have noticed on my channel, I always point out hypocrisy within police officers. I mean, my channel is not just built on that, but I do have a lot of videos where when they do bad, I point it out. When they do good, I point it out, you know? And it sucks for that cop to die in the line of duty. You know, he was stopping at GameStop to get a game for his son, and then he got shot and killed. And it sucks, man. You know, you never know, he probably was going to surprise his son and say, look, boom, like that. You know what I mean? When he gets off of work. I scratch my noggin, I'm thinking like, man, it's crazy how situations can just take your life away just like that.